Hi. So welcome to the fourth panel of International Book Market, and it goes to India and the Arabic world, accompanied by a Greek manager from the book fair, and because we are missing the Iranian publisher who was announced for this panel. So I see it's lunchtime in Greece, and the public is not so wide, but let's start. I proudly present Kanchan Sharma from New Delhi. She is the CEO of the National Book Trust, and in the first round she will tell us about her business in India, what is doing the National Book Trust in India. So something we can imagine, but others not. So I'm very happy to have you here, and I'm very happy to proudly present Mohammed El-Bali from Zefzafa. He's the founder and CEO of this famous Egypt publishing house, very known in Europe. And we will get to know how it's known in the other sides of the world. And he's also part, of course, as a founder and head of a famous publishing house of the Egyptian Publishers Association, and other organizations for the book trade. So my first question is to Kanchan and Mohammed to represent her work and their work, what they are doing in their daily business.
Thank you, Petra. And I think, first of all, I just want to take 2-3 seconds to thank Thessaloniki, thank Nopi, thank everybody in the book fair, and thank everybody for the second fellowship program that we have here. It's great to be here to understand a bit about Greek market, which we don't know. Secondly, to meet so many people across the world here who have come from different countries. So I really thank everyone involved with that. To answer Petra's question, thank you, Petra. I'm Kanchan Sharma. I head the exhibitions, the national and international exhibitions at National Book Trust India. The National Book Trust India is an organization under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. It's a government body. And we do lots of activities. One is, of course, the promotion of books and reading in the country. So we have lots of activities related to that. Second, we organize the New Delhi World Book Fair, which is one of the largest book fairs in the world, which has a turnout of 1.8 million people. It's a B2C fair. We are a large country, a lot of population. So yes, 1.8 million visitors in the New Delhi World Book Fair, which is basically a B2C fair with a lot of B2B aspects along with it, a rights conference, publishing conference, rights exchange programs, such B2B activities happening along with the fair. We also, whenever there is a guest of honor presentation in any country at international book fairs, so we are the organization who coordinate the guest presentation, getting the publishers on board, the books, the other B2B activities with it, the selling, everything. From Pavilion, wherein we get a design from National Institute of Design, which is one of the premier design institutes in India. Besides that, we do a lot of activities for children, for adults. So that is more or less of it.
Thank you so much, Kanchan.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for the organizers to invite me here, and Nubi, and for the team of the fellowship, of course. My name is Mohammed El-Bali. I am from Egypt. Egypt have two roots, one in Arab countries, which is across Asia and Africa, and one in Africa. So Zefzafa Publishing published in Arabic mostly. We have very few titles in English, but mostly we publish in Arabic. We publish literary fiction and general non-fiction. We got a couple of prestigious prizes. 80% of our list is translations. That's why we are known around the globe, because we keep knocking doors, Zurkamp and other big names, Gallimard. We translated from over than 20 languages. We try our best to translate direct from other languages. So we have translators from Finnish, from Maltese, from, of course, Chinese, Korean, English, French, the big languages, but also we was lucky to find translators from Slovenian and like this. Our books travels across the Arab countries because the same way of in New Delhi Book Fair, most of Arab book fairs is B2C. So our team now is in Qatar, Doha, and Morocco and Cairo, organizing, participating in the 3 book fairs now in the same time I am speaking here. That's how we sell books. We also deal with book chains, and I will speak more details when I speak in Arab markets. I will try to speak in Arab and African markets. I know better and about the Arab market than the African, but I will try to give an impression. We are a part of the Egyptian Publisher Association. We didn't choose to be a part of the association because you have to be if you want to work in publishing. Egypt is not, can you be considered democratic country? So we will talk later about the level of freedom of speech, which is low, very low, and other things. But in the right of free organization, it is by the law there is one publisher association, so we are part of, and I think they have 1,400 listed. Not all of them are active, but I think half of this number are active. 90% of this of publishers in Egypt, 90% of companies is 1 or 2 persons. So very, very small, but we have also big publishers, the big 5, and range of medium size. And we are also part of the Arab Publishers Association. This is optional, so we choose to be part because there is 1,200 members from all Arab countries, from Morocco to Oman, I think. And of course, United Arab Emirates and Lebanon, but the majority, I think, from Egypt and Lebanon. Egypt and Lebanon is normally the heart of Arab publishing. Other countries try to improve and support their markets, and it is not a very central world anymore, so it is growing, but still at least 50% of Arabic books is published in Egypt and Lebanon, but this changes from like 60s, like that was like 90%. Now, big change. I'm also a member of the Alliance of Independent Publishers. We like to describe ourselves as an independent progressive publisher. So that's it for the first question, I think. Sorry for talking a lot.
That was partly the the answer, but it's very helpful, and we can discuss it closer next for the market. And when I started in the business, of course, that's what you mentioned. From the European side, that was only Egyptian publishers and Lebanese publishers. And then it comes closer to the United Arab Emirates, what we have seen yesterday with a huge present and wonderful presentation of the guest of honor country here in Thessaloniki. So the market is growing, and it's changing also to other countries, and I think all Arabic publishers from other countries you can help them with your long and tradition in publishing in Egypt. And I have forgotten to mention that Zafa means willow. So that's beautiful, a beautiful publishing house name. And I have forgotten to mention that Kanshan means gold. So I feel very honored to sit in between gold and a willow. So that's not so often. So I give the microphone to Kanshan, to our gold lady, and that she introduce us to the Indian market, which is one of the most interesting markets in the world. In India, you have got 70 official languages. No, 121. No, but you told me yesterday 70. Yeah, you probably, yeah. Yeah, but 70, yeah, but of course you have 170 or 180 languages, so that's for sure, and that's a continent. That's a continent, India. That's not only a country with the most languages, but what does it mean for publishing? That we would like to hear from you personally, because the advantage of the Indian publisher, in view also of the Arabic publisher, is a continent with one language. Yeah, it's not always the same. The Moroccan have another language than the Lebanese, but yeah, the written language is equal. But in India, you have the publisher have got here can publish in English, in Hindi, and in his local language, which means Malayalam or Tamil or Bengali. So let us know more about this amazing market.
Thank you so much. So to introduce this market, I think I'm going to state so many stats. So that is going to make it more overwhelming. To begin with, currently, India has a population of about 1.44 billion people, which is huge. So, and as Petra was talking about languages, we have 121 languages and 19,500 dialects. Right. So 22 are official languages, but National Book Trust India publishes books in 70 languages. So that includes, yes, so that includes the dialects as well as the 121 languages that I'm talking about. Because the new education policy that has been rolled out in 2020 has a focus on promotion of mother tongue. As I was telling Petra yesterday and some of my colleagues yesterday from the group, that in India, all of us speak at least 3 languages. One is the mother tongue, one is English because we speak English, and one is Hindi. So all of us speak at least 3 languages, which is normal, which is pretty normal. And generally, the younger generation does pick up, I mean, even my generation, we did pick up one foreign language. So we do speak either French or Spanish or German or Chinese or Russian. We've learned. I mean, we won't be fluent, but we have learned. So basically, 4 languages at least all of us do speak. So that is there. So with the new government, the new education policy, which was launched in 2020, the focus was on promotion of mother tongue. We all need to, because we do know mother tongue, but we don't have much written material on it. So we started the promotion and pushing of lot of material in mother tongue. So that is how we publish books in 70 Indian languages. We have a market for it. We properly distribute it because it's important to have the written material, the documented material in mother tongue as well. Secondly, the thrust on that in that document was on bilingual. So a lot of material is being printed bilingually. So, for example, and the permutation and combination you can yourself calculate, that's too much maths for me. But like we have books in English Malayalam, say, Hindi Tamil, Tamil Malayalam, Marathi English. So when I'm talking about these many languages, so you can imagine how much. So we try and do bilingual also, and that includes bilingual books in other foreign languages and English or Hindi as well. So that's too many of them. But the multilingualism, which was this time the theme of New Delhi World Book Fair, that is what it was. We are a country of diverse languages. We are a multilingual country, but we say that the expression as it goes, that although we are a country of so many languages, but the expression is one. And that's what binds us as a country. So that was about the languages. Now I'll give a bit about the data about Indian market. So as this is as per the report, the Nielsen report that was just launched in 2022, at the end of 2022, and has been covered by Publishing Perspectives and Publishers Weekly magazine. So it says that India has the largest population aged 5 to 24 in the world. So 500 million people and the largest school-going population of 265 million. India is ranked third largest market in the world for print books, the world's second biggest English-speaking country, and the second largest publisher of books in English after the US. Right. India's print book market will hit 12 billion by the end of this year. And the book publishing sector in India makes the highest contribution to publishing, printing, and allied service sector, which includes newspapers, magazines, print industry, and the share keeps rising from 33%, which was there in 2015, to 54% in 2020. So now we are in 24, so we are imagining the percentage rise in that. Then, the publishing industry in India, in addition to adding value to nation's gross domestic product, through direct and indirect means, of course, it contributes to country's employment also, which is about 0.07% of the total employment of the country, which is not insignificant if you really see. There are 24,000 publishers in India, 24,000. The school sector, the K-12 sector, the education sector, it accounts for 71% of the print book market. Higher education, 25%. And the trade segment is only 4%, but we see how much business that does in the world. And that we are talking about only 4%. So India's print book market has been estimated at a valuation of US dollars 8.8 billion in 2020. And this valuation is projected to increase at a compound annual growth rate of 19.4% between 24 and 26. That's a lot of data, lots of maths. But it just shows that the print book market is really doing well. And when I say print book market, I am not including actually the e-books, the audiobooks, the animation books, the sign language books, that also contribute to it because the data doesn't say so, but that market is also there, which I don't have at the moment, the data, so that you can add to it. I think if I talk about the translations here a bit, or should we talk about that later? Yes. So
a lot of information.
Sorry about that. So I think I give it to you.
Thank you for this very interesting continent. 24,000 publishers. In Germany we have 1,800. So that's another region. That's another continent, and that's. You are in a huge competition with the United States. In the next round, we want to hear how close you are to the Arabic publishers, but I give it to Mohammed to tell us more about you. You have told about the market, but perhaps you may add something in view of what Kanchan said, or you would amplify to translation, and then we give the microphone to Pavos that he can add something from the Greek market and the connection between the Greek market in India and the Arab world.
So there is so many topics, but I will start from the title of the event, Book Market in Africa and Asia, or Asia and Africa. So as I mentioned, Egypt is a part of Africa. It's located in Africa, but it is very complicated there as a linguistic situation. So it is there in Africa. There is between 1,000 and 2,000 languages. So it is big, but we can put a finger on 5 or 6 big languages with like written, printed book published. Like there is Arabic, I mentioned because of course I speak Arabic. Arabic, English, French. It's a big continent. It's a big market for French books in Africa. And Portuguese, smaller, I think 2 or 3 countries. Amazighi, also in Algeria and Tunisia and Morocco, maybe Mauritania also. And Swahili. Swahili, I think, in East Africa. Yes. So there is also several languages in Ethiopia and other countries, Afrikaans in South Africa, and several languages. But the biggest problem is the most translation has to into Arabic or into other languages have to go through English or French. We sometimes translate from Portuguese. We translated few African authors. I mean from sub-Saharan Africa, from Portuguese and English. We are in talk now to publish a couple of books translated from Swahili. But we don't have translators from original language or local languages, unfortunately. In Egypt, we mostly publish in Arabic and English and with very few French books. But we have other languages. We have Amazighi have their own languages, Nubian have their own languages, but there is no printed books for this, and we face a lot of problems. I think the one thing most of Arab and African countries is sharing, or actually 2 things. The economic problems, it's different from country to country, but it's shared in the whole third world, which affects the book market very much, and the problem with freedom of speech. Most of African countries and maybe Arab countries is like just under military dictatorship or facing some civil war, or just country which is like in the Middle Ages system when father give the power to son, and like this. Not like royal families in Europe when the king is like just a symbol. No, they really rule the country. Some of countries and some of Arab countries even don't have an election at all. Some of them have, like Egypt, have an election, but we know what it will come from the election before it started. So this affecting so much in the freedom of speech in Egypt. We don't have a law to tell you what to publish or what to not to publish, but you publish what you want, and you have to face the consequences. So this is some issue. Other countries, like most of Gulf countries, I think all of them have like a system. You have to apply the book to the censorship authorities to approve it before the book get published. I think this is all Gulf countries. I don't know exactly what the system in all the other Arab countries, but this is exactly was the system in Gulf area. We had also bad influence from some Arab-rich countries on the freedom of speech in Arab countries, because if you want to enter their markets, you don't criticize them. You don't have to. You don't talk about their system, their anything happening there in a bad way. You allow only to talk in a very good way. So you talk in a good way or you shut up. So this is a bad influence of money, especially money. They don't put you in jail. Some of them, of course, put you in jail if you criticize them and you live inside the country or visit the country. But mostly if you criticize them, they prevent you from entering their country or their market. So in Egypt especially, we have a couple of writers and the publishers then already in jail or jailed for a few years because of their books, especially for their books, which is the authority or the government say it is offensive, the laws or the president or the army, something like this. So this is the biggest problem we face. Of course, we share the same challenges like around the world. Like there was a challenge of Corona things. There is a challenge of e-book and the printed book things, because some of for big publishers, old big publishers, they sometimes facing a shrinking of sales because of more young people goes to e-book, but also goes to English book. So the Arab readers, the elite of Arab readers is moving slowly to read in English. But for us it is good, and we moves also try to put our leg in the e-book market or the audiobook market, the digital market. So we have small success. Like let's say 10 years ago, we get zero from e-book and audiobook market. Now it's like 5% of our income comes from e-book and audiobook. So it's good. It's a change at least. Yes. Maybe I don't know. Maybe after 10 years it's become 50%. Maybe you don't know. But until now, 95% is coming from printed book or things around the printed book. Like let's say for translation, all translation grants, you have, if you got any translation grant, you have to print the book. So it is a translation grant, yes, but it is about the printed book. So this is something also keep the printed book alive. We applied here and there. As I mentioned, we translate a lot. 80% of our titles translations. We don't have that big list, 400 title only, and we produce per year. Like in a very good year, we publish 45 to 50 titles. In a normal year, 30 to 35. So what else?
Thank you. No, that's amazing. There are two markets, very similar in the diversity of languages and the power of exploitation, big markets, but very different from the political view. So I would like to give the microphone to our Greek, to the manager of the Greek, of the Hellenic Book Fair. Perhaps you may conclude a little bit discussion until now and to add something from your point of view.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Panagiotis Kapos from Greece. I'm here on behalf of the TBF Fellowship Book Team, and also I'm wearing the hat of a PhD researcher and a publisher. So it's very interesting to hear all this information, because we don't know, as Greeks and publishers and general professionals in the book industry, about Indian market and Egyptian market and African market in general. So it's a very good opportunity to hear all this kind of information. Thank you very much for your contribution. The lack of knowledge is obvious in our market, for your countries and markets. Thessaloniki Book Fair makes a step to know each other better. So I think it's a very good opportunity to continue this communication. And I suppose your knowledge about the Greek market is the same. It's maybe in the like zero point, I mean, a little bit. With Egypt, we have more historical connections, historical background, and we are more close. So we know each other better as countries more, and also industries. With India, no, we just know the population and the languages and how big Indian universe is there about book publishing. But I suppose we also, as Greeks, we have not a very good presentation of our authors in your countries. I don't know if some of our Greek works have translated there. Maybe it's a question. Besides ancient Greek authors, and maybe, I don't know, Kavafis and Kazantzakis. So yesterday we presented here some book data from Greece, and I pointed out that there is a lack of contemporary writers, Greek writers abroad, and we have a variety of Greek authors. And it's an opportunity to gap this, to make this gap more narrow. I don't want to represent again the book data from Greece. Just to tell that Greece is a very small country. You know it. We are almost 10 million people. We speak Greek language. It's our official language. It comes from the ancient past with some transitions. We have a market that is it's a rich market, considering that we have almost 800 book publishers here in Greece. It depends on the year, but also we have 12,000 books every year as publications, new titles. So there are a lot of book publishing. There are a lot of. It's a big number of publications with not so much audience and readers, because demand and supply have a gap in here. But our main focus as an industry is to make a step forward and try to know better what is happening, and then to make the appropriate strategies for communicating and make our culture more known abroad, our written culture, that is very rich culture. That's for me, and we can continue afterwards.
Thank you for pronouncing the role of a European country, a smaller market. But what you did with this book fair, and particularly with this fellowship program, to invite people from huge markets, from future markets, that's the that's the key for your success as Greek publisher. And you have done it in a way that's very successful. That you should follow these rules, because only with the presence of Mohammed and Kanchan, you have two big players from the future markets. Because the European market is, and yesterday we talked about with Senya about this vision of a Mediterranean market. And that, and yeah, not you are really not in the Mediterranean, but you don't need, India don't need anything from Europe. You are a big player. But the Europes need each other with the ancient market. And that was in this wonderful speech of the representative from the guest land from Shasha. She mentioned this vision of a Mediterranean market. And Senya told me that's also her vision. So that's the vision of all countries. They are situated on the Mediterranean Sea, and Greece is part of this, and Egypt is part of this. And so that's another room. So that's another geographical room, and that's what publishing is. Not only to look at the country or to traditional roots as Europe is. Of course, we will miss you, and because Germany is not part of this Mediterranean publishing group. But go ahead with this vision. I think that's a very useful vision for Greek publishers, but also because his market it's huge and it's a future. With all these people from Africa, he mentioned the diversity of the language, the difficulties, of course, in translation. But if you are part of this, and you started here with this in Athens and with this Thessaloniki book fair, I think you did the right way. So let's talk about at least about translation. You will talk about translation, because that's like a movie, that's like a Netflix series here on the stage with all these languages. And I hardly can follow all these 170 Indian languages, how to translate. You mentioned the difficulties. I have an experience from the German publishing house Surkamp. We were eager to run the African market, not the Arabic market. That's done. You mentioned, that's it. Senegal, sub-Saharan. Thank you for this word, sub-Saharan market. So, but we failed. We were not prepared. We are not prepared in Europe. That's something topic for you, and for this we can find out together. We are not prepared, and that's also a good news for all agents or for the help of UK, because they are better prepared from the language side. We are not prepared to run the sub-Saharan market. We have not any knowledge. I tried it for 15 years to find publishers to sell or to buy. That's hard. But you have an open door, and it would be very much interesting to invite European publisher to Egypt to bring together with the sub-Saharan publishers. That would be my dream. So think about in Cairo.
Thank you, Petra.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to talk a bit about translations, and of course that covers the interaction between the other markets.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to open this. Yes. Yes, just a bit more data for people to. I don't know if that wakes up or makes sleep. I'm not sure, but just a bit more data. So. So yes. So coming to translations, of course, we went through all the languages that we have. The data also says that although 55% of trade sales are from the books in English that we do, of the remaining 45% that is there, the 35% are in Hindi and rest, and of course, in Indian languages. I mean, the rest of 45%, 35% are in Hindi, the Hindi language, the main Hindi language that is there. And more than, since we talked about a lot of education publishing that takes up the most sector, the numbers that it's taken. The fiction, of course, is only 4%, and the trade sector that I'm talking about. But mostly that fiction is published in Indian languages and in Hindi. So When we talk about the fiction that is there, I'm talking about translations, not just in Hindi and Indian languages, but I'm talking about the translations from other languages, other countries, and Indian. So we only have the upper hand when we are talking about, for example, we decide to take something from Egypt, from Arabic I mean. So once we have it in English, we have it in Hindi, then we have it in Malayalam, Gujarati, Tamil, and all those. So that is how it compounds. We have that, thankfully we have that, I don't know how to say it, an advantage to it. So for translations, naturally, we have reached a stage wherein we are doing from one language to another language in India, so we're reaching out to other markets. So we have lots of books which are from France, from Spain, from Persia. I mean, of course, one of our speakers from Iran couldn't be here. Lots and lots from Persia, from Iran. A few from Egypt, yes, that is there. Not much from Greece, but I would like to say that since you were talking about the Greek market, India is aware about Greek because, you know, during our university years, all of us read about the Greek civilization, the Roman civilization, and I'm sure we all know who's the sun god, who's the, you know, all that, because we read that, But yes, now it's important that we go beyond it, because as I tell, a lot of people would know India, there is Taj Mahal, you know, that's it, there is Taj Mahal. India is Taj Mahal. Okay, what's beyond it? Maybe some other thing, Taj Mahal? Or maybe something, so there's beyond it, the contemporary India. So I guess for us also and for others also, it is important to understand Greece beyond the sun god and other gods. I mean, I don't mean it another way. What I mean to say is that that's what we have read. The Greek civilization, Julius Caesar, Roman civilization. We need to go beyond and understand more of the contemporary market. So me being here, I want to understand the Greek market so that India and publishers, other publishers, through the Ministry of Education, can come here, talk about translations, talk about the trade books, talk about the education books, and it's vice versa. It's both sides. We haven't explored much, and I don't see much of Indian publishers. There must be 2 or 3 who will come as trade publishers, only who will come for visiting. But we don't have much here. We have reached out to a lot of countries, but not to Greece. Frankfurt, if the world is there in Frankfurt. Cairo, a lot of Indian publishers in Cairo, lots of them. In Iran, yes, lots of them. Spain, we talk about Barcelona, Madrid, lot of people there. But Greek books, Greek literature, that's still Greek to us. Yes, so I think it is important to understand and explore more markets. Since we do a lot of translations, we understand how translations are important from one literature to another. I mean, coming from one civilization to another civilization, or a culture or a literature. And this is, I would say, 0.01% in our country, which needs to increase. Because we are reaching out to lot of languages beyond us. We already are saturated with our languages. We have lots and lots of them. So we need to have more cultures, more language, literature, because at the end of the day, I'm sure all of you, wherever we go, all of us, we do find some kind of a culture connect with every country, which is there. Some kind of a culture connect, and that is where, because of course you see that reflected in the literature. You see that reflected in the children's books when we talk about morals and values and other things, which somewhere there is a connect. I met a lot of Greek publishers today, and I was looking at the children's books, and there it is. Somewhere that connect. I went to Bologna, I met a lot of Italian publishers, and somewhere that connect is there. And immediately you understand that, yes, if I take up this book in my country and in different languages, it's going to resonate with them. It's not going to sound anything else with them, because somewhere that connect is there, and that is what we are all looking at. So translations beyond India and to other countries is important, and that's what from Ministry of Education and all private publishers from India are trying to find out new markets, new translations, new content.
Thank you for your kind offer to the Greek publisher, to the Arabian publisher. That's the key of our business, buying, protecting, selling rights. So if you want to add something, and then for finish, first Pavlos, and then for finishing, Mohamed.
Yes, we are living in a connected world. We are living in a global village, as McLuhan said. It's easier than ever to communicate with others, not only digital but face to face. So that's an advantage, and the book fairs give this advantage, of course. And also, I consider I usually use a term. It's a global publishing, and I mean global and local at the same time. Because, okay, we have different mentality or sometimes our cultures, but at the end of the day, we are humans and we share common things. And I think book publishing industry is about that. It's about sharing values, sharing ideas, emotions, knowledge. And I think it's the way, I don't know if I'm romantic, but I think that it's the way to remain human in this challenging world. So I believe that the publishing industry has to be connected, and we have the means to do it. And if we don't have these means, we try to find out the tools to remain connected. So India, of course, for us, is a huge market. We don't know, as I said, many things. But now it's the opportunity to learn and also to strengthen more, to empower our communication with Egyptian market and African market. And I think it's an opportunity. So the road is ahead.
Thank you so
much. There is several topics said. I think we talk about translations, about the connection over the Mediterraneans. And first I want to mention that we consider Kafafis as Alexandrian poet, not a Greek poet. So what I see, yes, we need to enhance, to support and enhance the translations. It helps very much, but we also need to look what the market needs. Like the commercial things are getting translated very fast. When an Italian book make like a success in a worldwide success, people doesn't wait. It's our local. It is Italian, Mediterranean or not. It does this. When a poet or an author got a Nobel Prize, big publisher does not wait. To check what his language. Very fast. They do it. Mostly do it through English. So I think what we need to know more is the contemporary authors, the young authors. How will I know from Egypt a very good, talented poet from Greek or from India if the authorities or the book fairs didn't produce a catalog, updated catalog told this? You have to get some attention. And the second thing is translators. Like I visited Barcelona once, and I have good connection with Ramon institution, but there is a very, very few translators between Arabic and Catalan, or Catalan and Arabic. So yes, we know about their good literature, but if the my translator does not have time for any reason or have an operation or something, we blocked. So we need to produce more translator. I know a few translator, very good translator between Arabic and the Greek, but we need to know more. We translated a couple of books from Greek without any help from Greek Lit, I think, Greek Lit institution or foundation. But thanks to the translators, they introduced them to me. So I think this is two things we really need if across the Mediterranean or India and Arabic, catalogs, translators. These two things are very important to help with translation. I think even more translation grants. Translation grants in some countries, I don't want to say that, but many times I saw they support rubbish books, crime fiction, commercial fiction, because this is what they got. This is what the application they got, of course. But why they got only this application? Because they not doing enough to tell us about the literary writers. So what we know the things already translated in English, which 80% of this is commercial fiction or crime fiction or something like this. So I think, of course, we need things to be done. We need money to be spent, but not only for translation grants, for other things also, for translators workshops, for catalogs and things like this. Sorry for taking so long, but
It was not long.
yes.
It was huge. It was one of the most interesting stage. It's a pity that we have not a bigger audience, but I hope that you. Yeah, lunchtime in Greece. So we next time we do it in the morning at 10 o'clock. So that's better. Or 11. 11 it's nice.
10 is very early for Greece, or 11 is
So that's your job to choose the right hour for the Greek audience. No, but I hope that we will the fellows get a script. Yeah, and I hope the fellows will get a script what Mohammed and Kanchan said, because it was one of the most interesting thing I heard about the markets, about the translations. Of course, that's a huge topic, translation grants and posing literature of a market into another market. But that was my passion over 40 years for the German literature, and that's his passion for his authors and her passion for the 170 Indian languages. And so thank you very much, and thank you. No, it's an honor for me to be your moderator, such very good publishers in the world. And as I always say, for me it's for all publishers without borders to win the Peace Nobel Prize. So let's go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.